Zidane Ani, Electro Ninja here, and welcome back to Electro Ninja's Lab. In today's video, I am going to be talking about who needs to be added to the next My Hero One's Justice. But I am actually going to be a bit picky. Um, for those of you who aren't aware, this is the current roster. There are about 40 characters, and um, yeah, I'm basically just going to list off a whole bunch of characters that would be really cool and how they would kind of work in the actual game. Obviously, take into account that I do want characters to be removed, such as, obviously, the three villains that are not important anymore. Um, both versions of Overhaul, the two older versions of Deku, All Might, and Mirio. As also Sir Night-Eye. Remove those guys. They're not important anymore. They don't need to be in here. They're either they can be added later, but for right now, I want them gone. Especially Night-Eye. He's dead. He doesn't need to show up again. And as for the Dekus, especially get rid of them. And Overhaul, also completely kaput. Don't put him in there. But let's actually get into characters that I would actually like to see. Now, I'm going to try to avoid spoilers. I will have some spoilers, but it's going to be pretty minor ones. First off, I want there to be some characters from the My Hero Academia Vigilantes. I know that currently the manga hasn't been made into an anime, and while I do want there to be an anime, and most likely there will be an anime by the end of this year, at least starting, currently there's nothing. But by the time that they actually make the next game, they most likely will have an all Vigilantes anime. So implementing at least some of the characters from that wouldn't be too far away from actually happening. Obviously, certain characters would just get costumes such as Stain, Fat Gum, Aizawa. But then other characters would need to be added, such as Ingenium. Yes, the original Ingenium. He should be in there. I know that he's not actually available in the current game during the timings of the games, but he's an awesome character. Getting the chance to play as him would be really fun. And then the big three from the main series, being Knuckle Duster, Crawler, and Popstep. Obviously, a few of the villains would be cool, but right now I'm going to say just the heroes. Next, they should add Gentle Criminal. He is extremely important for the next step, so putting him in makes a lot of sense. They don't need to add La Brava for obvious reasons, but it would be kind of interesting to see her in there. But she doesn't fight, so that's why I'm not going to include her in my main count. Spinner, huge important character. Why is he not in the game already? Sorry. Obviously, Kurogiri. Kurogiri is a huge important villain. The fact that he hasn't yet been added is odd. He honestly sounds like he would have an awesome combat set. So I would love to see how they work with him. As for the remaining characters, really it's just heroes to be added. Obviously, certain villains could be added, such as the villains from the movies. Some of those villains would be really awesome to see, especially the ones from the new movie, Mummy, Medusa. Yes, I'm going to continue to call her that, even though that is not her name. Chimera, and of course Nine. All of these guys are really freaking awesome. So the fact that they're not playable is kind of odd. If they don't add them into the next game, that's going to be weird. Obviously, don't worry about the first movie. There wasn't any new heroes or villains, so implementing anything from that, not really necessary. As for the class, there are 7 characters who are still not in this game, and it doesn't make any freaking sense. Yes, some of them make some sense, such as Hagakure. She's just going to be a normal fighter, very similar to how Mirio plays when he doesn't have a quirk. Maybe they can implement something with the whole dazzling whatever bullcrap it is, but that honestly feels like something that they added for this so that they could actually add her into the game, but they didn't. So I don't know what the heck they're doing. As obviously as well, add Mirio no powers. Honestly, the fact that he's not playable as an actual character doesn't make sense to me. He was an awesome character to actually get to play as for the short time, and honestly, that's something that would be really interesting. And yeah, honestly fun. Obviously, they need to add Ojiro and Shoji. Both of these characters aren't too interesting, and getting to play with them does seem like a kind of a bit of a challenge, especially Shoji. But we'll see. Sero and Sato, great characters. Honestly, they're just Sero is gonna be so much fun to play as. If he's not in the game next time, I will be surprised. And I also think that Sato is also gonna be in there, but that's just me. But Sero specifically, absolutely, he's gonna be in there. Next, obviously, is Aoyama. He's obviously a hard character to play as, but implementing him would be a lot of fun. Getting the chance to play as him as a character would be a lot of fun, especially since he's been getting a lot of attention recently and looks to be getting more attention in the future. He and Deku are becoming a lot of fun. Are becoming better and better friends. So if he's not in there, then what are they doing? Next, who am I forgetting? Koda. Yeah, Koda. I think he's the last one. Seriously, why is Koda not in here? Like, holy crap, Koda has like one of the best possible sets there is. You can actually have him like commanding birds or commanding other beasts. It would be a lot of fun. He would actually be one of the most interesting characters to actually play as, because unlike the other characters, he has to constantly be talking. When you use one of his two quirk abilities, instead of him being like "oh," he would be like "ha," and then a whole bunch of birds or something just comes from behind him and then just attacks, and it would be just hilarious. Like, obviously square is just him actually punching whoever is the enemy, but the other two, he's basically putting his hands up like this and just being like, "My friends, come and help me," and then they run. They all just attack. It would be funnier. What would be probably the funniest thing is if when he does that, he turns away from the enemy, yells, and then the animals just go behind him. But either way, it would just... I love the idea. So implementing him, I hope that they do, because it's awesome. Next up is Class 1B. Obviously introduce them. I don't really have too much to say about them, except for the fact that a lot of them are really fun. Kendo, great character, want to see her. Monoma, actually, there is a character, not in this, but in other games, that is exactly like him. Basically, what you can do is, what they could choose to do is that when you select Monoma, you then either have to select another character and he'll use that power. He'll use whatever quirk it is, unless it's something that he can't use, such as Deku's quirk, or a few others. There's a few that I'm not remembering exactly, but he can't use Deku's quirk. So Monoma But otherwise, you can choose any quirk from the table to use, and he'll be able to use it. And it would be so much fun. And you probably will only get one choice. But he'll basically play as any of the other characters, and it will be a random choice. Like each match, he switches to a different character, and it would be so much fun. And I really do think that a lot of people will have a ton of fun playing as him. There's a lot of other characters as well that I would love to see, specifically from Class 1B, but the exact details are kind of hard to say. All of them are really cool, don't get me wrong, but giving exact ways that they can become playable, kind of hard to do. Manga is really, holy crap, I want to play as him, but I don't know how it would work. And the same goes for a lot of other characters, like the Mushroom Girl. I always forget what her name is. Vanta Black, great character, want to play as him. And so on and so forth. Lots of characters like that would be tons of fun to just get the chance to play as them. But for now, we're just going to have to wait. Mudman, also great character. I want to play as him. But currently, I don't know how they would make them playable. But they do have to actually add them for the next game, so this is stuff that they should be thinking about. And then also Shinso. Shinso is a great character, and I don't know exactly how they're going to make him playable. He'll probably he'll probably play very similar to Aizawa, but when he uses instead of how Aizawa uses his eyes and it cancels out the quirk abilities where you can't use them, basically what it would do is randomly the character, if you're playing against Shinso, I'm going to use him. Basically, when you use that special power, randomly you'll punch yourself in the face. Like your character will literally punch yourself in the face or use one of your power, whatever your power is, and just do it to yourself. Such as Bakugo probably gonna blast himself in the face. And it's probably like a limited thing, like such as Deku, when he punches himself in the face, it does damage, but then he's back to normal. He can fight again. And it's like a one-time thing, but it would be really fun to actually get to the chance to play as that. And that's pretty much it for the main characters. Then there's the pro heroes. Absolutely would love to play as some of these guys. Hawks, want to play as him. Absolutely, he looks fun as heck. There's a few others, such as who else is there? Ectoplasm, great. Best Genist, yeah, definitely. And so on and so forth. Lots of other characters. Basically, if it's a pro hero, I want to play as them because some of them are really awesome. The only one that I can actually think of that I don't want to actually play as is Mount Lady. Literally, she is the only character that I do not want playable. I do eventually want to get the chance to play as her, but there's actually, basically what I want eventually, and this is a far in the future thing. Keep that in mind. This is very, very far in the future. They are not going to implement this anytime soon. There's a character that is a bad guy, and the fact of the matter is that they're going to have to implement him. Basically, what it would be is that there's a separate segment where there's a second panel or whatever, and it's big characters. And you can then play as any of these big characters, and you'll basically play as them. Such as a good example is Overhaul, Ultimate Overhaul. If you want to bring him back as a playable character, that's how you do it. You put him in the big characters. Now, and it's basically just big characters get to slug it out, and you just get to see these huge this you're basically over the city and you're smashing a ton of stuff if it's in a city map, and your choices would be extremely limited to how many to which battlefields you can use, but it would be so much fun. The big guy that's coming up, having him in there, he's gonna be a freaking boss, I guarantee it. He's gonna be a boss for the villain side of the story. But implementing him, him as a character is honestly gonna be a lot of fun. And Mount Lady, playing as her, and also if my guess is correct, then Deku as well. Huge Deku, and he's a lot slower, but he still packs quite a punch. But that's a theory; it's not 100% yet. And Kamui, obvious. Oh wait, not Kamui. But lots of other characters like that. Characters who are huge, big characters that you don't really get to play as, and it's just like a small segment. Basically, they allow you to play as certain bosses. As far as I'm aware, though, there's no real characters that actually get to do this. But it's like I said, it's a big, massive battle, and it's a small selection of characters that you can choose from, but they get to fight against each other, and it's really fun. It's a lot slower of a combat. When you choose this style, it's only available if you choose infinite time, because let's be honest, it's a slow fight. These characters will fight slow. But we'll see exactly what happens. Like I said, Deku, Mount Lady, the giant guy that I don't remember what his name is yet, but he is going to be coming up soon, and Overhaul, Ultimate Overhaul. Those are currently the only 4 characters that you would actually be able to play as if they actually implement this. Most likely they will implement some other characters if they are going to do this. But we'll just have to wait and see for now. Right now, this is my theory, and it's a big if. But anyways, guys, those are the characters I want to see. Obviously, there's more, but these are the ones that I can actually think of exactly how I would want them to be playable. So let me know down in the comments below what you guys think of these characters. Would you want to play as them? And of course, leave your theories and let me know anything that you would like to see in the future. Obviously, if you are going to leave a theory, make sure you use the hashtag theory review so I can talk about it in my theory review video. And of course, if you enjoyed this video, please leave a like, subscribe if you're new, and ring that notification bell. But anyways, guys, I've been Electro Ninja, and I'll see you guys next time. But on.